You made it to level 2, deeper questions leading to deeper answers. I'm Tomas Garza, and I'm here to help you decide to transform. I'll be setting the pace for the process to support your unfolding. Learn and commit to a practice that brings simplicity and an awareness of what is ready to be released. Join me now and allow the experience of a deeper sense of love. Welcome to Decide to Transform, to a special co-hosted edition of Decide to Transform. I'm your host, Tomas Garza, and Lisa Berry, my very good friend and co-host, joins me. And we have not one, but two guests who are also business partners today. And we are going to have a show that's very high energy and a lot of fun. So let me quickly introduce Lisa. As you may know from listening to some shows here, Lisa is the host of Light on Living, the internet radio show on Om Times Radio, is my very good friend and business partner, and a podcast producer, podcast trainer. Lisa is a trained life coach and certified holistic nutritionist living in Port Perry, Ontario. So Lisa, welcome. I'm glad. It's a pleasure to have you joining me again here today.
It's always so much fun. I love our guests. I'm excited for you to introduce them.
Yes, and our guests today are business partners, Cecilia Tement and Cheryl Geonanga. Now, Cecilia is a transformational coach, energy healer, and spiritual channel who uses her intuitive gifts to help you tap into your inner magic and release your old life story so you can finally be free to live authentically and true to who you've always been. Cheryl is an intuitive branding artist and marketing coach who uses her innate gifts to bring out your higher self through visuals, colors, graphics, and logo design. Through organic and heart-based strategies, you will learn here today on the show how to magnetize your clients with ease. This is excellent. Cecilia and Cheryl, welcome to Decide to Transform.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here.
So excited.
This is going to be fun. Yes.
So I want to kick off this show with a question I am dying to ask, because this is exciting that we have the two of you here, and you're not just affiliates or, supporting of one another's business. You literally have created one business from two. It's very complimenting, but you guys are also friends. And so I would love my first question, because that's how I feel about Tomas and myself. And so it's kind of neat that we get to ask a different perspective. But what would you've come together, it's fairly new. We're going to dive into the whole story, but coming together, what is each one of you, if you could take turns in answering this, what is I don't want to say the benefit, but I do, what is the best part that has improved or felt good about being able to partner with a friend who is completing or complementing your already existing business?
Oh my God, Cheryl is like my other half of everything. And what I think, she's not just a friend, she's my very best friend. And I think that we've grown so much together in the last 4 years. And the main thing I can say that's so incredible about doing business with her is that she just holds space for me. She holds space for me when I'm feeling crazy, when I'm being raw, when I'm upset, when I'm releasing, when I need someone to laugh and cry with me. She's the one who holds me up when I can't hold myself up. And that to me is so special, because when you have something that's even more than a friendship, it's a soul connection. I don't know where I'd be without her. I actually don't feel like I could make it without her. She's just completely my other half in every sense of the word. And my husband knows this, that, listen, if I swung the other way, I'd be leaving him in a heartbeat. She's just incredible. She's somebody who connects with me on every level. And I think that part of it too is that we love each other's gifts as well. The reason why we combine forces is because we appreciate and respect the other person's talents. And we know that by amplifying, one another's strengths, we can be even more powerful and embodied together. So, this honestly is the relationship and business of my life, and I could not be more grateful.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way about Cecilia. She has done the same for me, holding space and also like being able to. I think one of the things about having this wonderful friendship is being able to take off the mask. You know, like I think for so long, a lot of us are kind of taught to be a certain way or have these expectations on us. But when you can just take off that mask and just truthfully be you to one another, like it was actually, I think, what's really transformative about our relationship is that we had learned to actually become more authentic with one another, be truthful, be honest. And like the more we really stepped into that, the better our relationship became, the deeper that it became. And also too, like, you know, we joke about that all the time with our partners. Like it's just crazy how the deeper you go with someone else, the deeper that you go with yourself. And I think that's the reason why our relationship works in business and friendship, because not only do we hold space for each other, we also uplift one another. And also we have the same intentions when it comes to supporting other people. Like not only do we support ourselves, but we want to be able to support other people in the exact same way. Because how many of us have gone through life not feeling supported by loved ones, by people who, you know, technically should uplift us, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
where do we get that space? And it's so crazy how, when I really think about it, the way that I grew up, Cecilia grew up, how a lot of people grew up. It's so incredible that, you know, like our loved ones, obviously they're doing the best they can. You know, you can't blame them. They're very human, just as we are. But at the same time, I feel like we all have a responsibility to ourselves to kind of learn and go deeper and find that true happiness, whatever that is for you, you know? And I feel like because we align with that so much, like we uplift each other, we always like cheer each other on in our journeys, no matter how, you know, this person is doing, obviously you're human, you're going to feel those emotions. Sometimes jealousy does come up. But I think what the difference between Cecilia and I is we say it right away. You know what, honey, I felt really jealous about this, you know, like, and then she's like, what? Well, you're so freaking incredible. Like, why are you, you know what I mean? Like we always go back and forth and reassure each other that self-love is always the way to go. And like, that's what we've always believed. And that's how we were able to kind of like step into ourselves deeper and even more, is that that's sort of like our intentions, not just for us, but to also like help people in that perspective as well.
Yeah, I love that. And as we were chatting before we started the show here, you all have only officially been business partners for a short period of time, right?
Yeah. 2 weeks, really, like
2
officially.
weeks.
I mean, we started our own like show together on Facebook Live, and we've been doing that for about 2 years. But really, I mean, what timing did we come up with this idea, Cheryl? Do you feel like it was really like October, November, maybe? Like it wasn't that long ago for Soulful Intuitive Branding, like for us to come together, like and actually get moving on and get started. Like it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah,
really.
Big week. When you and I connected, Cecilia, I think because I remember like you were so shiny and sparkly around it. Well, you still are. I just want to say what I loved about both of your answers. What came to light about that was huge. Was you basically, what I heard was you've eliminated competition.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys are role models in leading that and showing that, like, you just like you're not, and I love that you brought up a jealousy factor, because no, just not jealous, it's just communication. So that you guys are literally leading the way for all other entrepreneurs, solopreneurs to eliminate competition. I can only imagine me messaging somebody I don't even know and go, hey, I was a little jealous of you, but you know what? You uplifted me. Thanks.
But this is the thing, like we're at different stages at different times. So there are times when I was broken and bruised and down in the dumps, and Cheryl lifted me out, and vice versa. And the funny thing about the jealousy is just because we're working against the conditioning of our childhoods, right? And we both came from trauma. And so that's how we bonded together. We started healing together. And that's why we ended up where we are now, because we've seen each other through everything. Like when you can be in front of a person and say, this is me at my worst, and that person goes, you're amazing. That's like, you can't help but feel, you know, a sense of constant love. And even if there's that moment of like, not competition, it's never about that. It's more about how come she can do it and I can't kind of feeling. And then we started just like riding the wave together and understanding that it's okay to have those feelings. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to be real, and to know that at the end of the day, now I don't think it's anything about competition. Like even yesterday, Cheryl held massive space for me because my concern was I never want to let her down, right? I always wanted to be the kind of person, and I'm a perfectionist by nature. So, you know, we were going through this thing and I felt like I let her down. And she was like, hell no, honey, what are you talking about? Of course you would never let me down. But it was me and my thoughts from my past that, and again, we say this all the time, just when you think you're healed, there's always other layers that have to come out. It's been 44 years of crap that we're working against for me, right? Cheryl's a little younger than me, but you know what I mean? Like, and just slightly. And I think that what's amazing is to be able to have all the garbage come out, and then to have somebody not be your container, but help you to sift through the garbage and find the good stuff, you know? And that to me is the ultimate partnership. And that's why we work so well together, because we will always love each other no matter what comes out.
Yeah, it's definitely working through the issues, quote unquote, because I don't necessarily believe in issues. Something that came up too, like when you mentioned that, Lisa, is like, I think what we really are, all of us, like here as human beings, we're all just like a reflection of things that we just need to learn, like life lessons. And so if you are feeling jealous, if there are some feelings of lack, there are some feelings of lack within you, because that's a reflection. But at the same time, since we are all the same, right? We all really are one and the same. We're just having different experiences through these bodies, if you will. But like, they're just really lessons learned. And it's like, I think like once we both realize that, like that there's something more than just a human experience that's going on here, that there is something deeper and something more beautiful about life when you can really kind of like step into the beauty of who you truly are and not feel the judgment by people anymore, you know, like feel more compassion towards other people. Really have an understanding that human beings are just human beings. Like we're all going through the same crap, right? As everybody else. And, you know, like when you can realize that all of the judgments, the resentments and all that stuff like that I used to feel about other people, my parents or blaming or whatever, like that all falls away, because then you're like, wow, this is a person. Like I used to think of my parents as parents, but when you really see them and you really understand it, they're people. You know, my parents didn't have a very good childhood. That's why they were like that towards me, because it was a mindset thing. It's a belief system. Same with Cecilia's parents. That's why, you know what I mean? Like it's like a generational thing that we're taught. And so when you can see that, when you can really see through that and accept them for who they are and not judge them for what they are, then it becomes like a whole different ball game of like how you see people altogether.
Just because I'm so excited to ask this question that came up. You had mentioned in the beginning, Cheryl, about a mask. You were allowed to remove your masks. I have to bring this up because you are a branding coach.
Yes.
Is a brand a mask of sort and we're just putting a new one on, or is there a difference there?
So I think the difference, the way that I see branding is at a whole different perspective now, because like as I was going through my own journey of like really learning how to brand myself, I realized that everyone is a brand, no matter what, right? Like even if you don't have a business, people see you already in a certain way. So you are a brand, a walking, talking brand, you know, like I have black hair, I'm Asian, I like pets, I'm vegan, you know what I mean? Like you're all a brand. And so the way that I look at branding differently now, especially like with people, spiritual entrepreneurs and the like, is that when you can feel good about who you are and what you do, that's what I like to bring in terms of visuals. Like I want people, like their businesses to, and how they see themselves through their visuals and their branding, I want them to see themselves in the brand. Like they feel good about it. It's like yeah, that's me, Cheryl. I really, really like that. Those colors are me. That visual is me. So that's how I see it. I don't want to really see it as the perspective of another mask, but I want, as the entrepreneur, to see themselves integrated with the brand so that they can really step into their higher purpose, feeling good about what they do. That's how I see branding now. And when other people see that, I feel like energetically, if you are aligned to your brand and your colors and your logos and your graphics, people will feel that as well.
Yeah, they will. And then so then how, Cheryl, do you and Cecilia work together? Then how does this look? I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but you've had a number of things happen in a short period of time that I'm sure we'll talk about. So how does your synergy, how does that play out?
Well, actually, this is okay. This is a really good question because like the way that we started business, and I like literally restarted my business this year. So just to kind of go back so I can like really answer deeper into your question is that Cecilia started her business like 2 years ago in terms of
Okay.
transformational life coaching.
Mhm.
And I was still like in affiliate marketing. I still am, but it's not my main focus anymore. And I used to be in the corporate world. So I used to work as a marketing and basically graphic designer and art director there doing like commercials and all this stuff, right? Like, great. But I ignored that because the reason why I went into affiliate marketing is because I wanted money, right? Like
Mhm.
I wanted to create a name for myself and all this stuff. It wasn't working, right? Because I didn't feel good about it. So because I saw Cecilia and her business and like how well she was doing offline already, she decided she wanted to go online. And because I had all this experience, this background experience of marketing and graphic design and logos and all that stuff, when she mentioned that to me, it was like a light bulb moment. Like, I can help you. And like when she was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm going online, but I don't know how to brand myself. I don't know, like I like my logo, but I don't really love my logo kind of thing. And I was looking at it and I'm like, you know what? I can actually do something better for you. And so that's how our story began. And so when I was finished, like when we were done working with her brand, she loved her graphics so much. And when she finally put herself out there, she was very, very clear. Like I helped her kind of clear out her messaging and her offers and like how she really wanted to communicate herself to the world. And so we did that through her graphics and logos and colors and all that stuff as well. And people, the way that people responded to her as her brand, she was, like she was
It
so
was life-changing.
it was life, and people were saying, oh my God, Cecilia, this is so you. People that actually knew her was like, yeah, this branding is more you. Right. And so that was like another sort of like light bulb moment where
Mhm.
I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And so I really concentrated on this path of like branding and marketing through soul, through heart-based entrepreneurs, and really like helping people feel good about the brand and feel good about being energetically aligned to it as well. And then, like because Cecilia has been doing her business for a while, she started referring people to me because they were business people.
Mm-hmm.
And so as she started referring them to me, I took them through the branding journey. And so I think that there was at least like 4 clients, I think, that we both had together simultaneously, one after the other. And then we're like, why don't we just do this as a business together? Like,
There you
why
go.
don't we create together? Because like, if you really think about it, right? Like sometimes, well, a lot of the time, people like to go to different coaches for different things.
Yeah.
Right. And so why not have it all in one? If you are a business, you can get healing, branding, marketing, organic marketing all in one, feeling good about yourselves while we hold space for you. Take off your mask, be who you are, be proud of it. And then we'll help brand you along the way and help you with organic marketing, which makes you feel good about the content that you're putting out there. And that's it. And then so we started talking about it more and more and more. And that's how, like that's why we're here today,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I've never seen like, so my new brand went out. All of a sudden my clients uptick was massive, and it was all just from visual difference. That's all it was. And then I think the other thing we talked about, and this is why we thought it's so original, there's nothing like this out there. Nobody thinks about the fact that people need healing before they put themselves out into the public eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all have issues, pain, trauma. We're trapped in grief and fear, and we're just terrified to be seen. And so I really help them to clear all of the energies that prevent them from showing up fully and powerfully as themselves. And when they're ready for that, then it's the perfect time to hand them over to Cheryl for her to do the visuals. So that's really how this all came to be.
Okay.
I have to ask Cecilia, what is your favorite color? What's your color? What are your colors?
Oh, it's kind of like turquoise, like it's really beautiful, like just beautiful pastels and really like, blues and greens and just very, very soothing, right? I think that's a good word for me. I think that people find me soothing. And so it was nice to be able to articulate that through my brand.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to also note that if you are someone who's going to get a session from Cecilia, be prepared with Kleenex, because she she tends to make people cry
all the time,
in a good way, all the time. And when I was releasing stuff, when I would even hop on a call with her and just as a conversation, I would automatically start crying, and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And then we realized it's because
it's me.
Yeah, she just kind of helps people release naturally. And like, how many times have we gone on lives and people have cried on our lives too? Because like they feel
I'm not going on your live. No, I don't.
It was, you know what? It was crazy because this is where like, I think it's so beautiful because people just need a place to put their sadness where they're safe and not judged. And sometimes it just takes that one person to say that one thing or ask that one question that sparks release. And so that's what I do.
Okay. I'm going to call you the faucet queen.
Love it.
I think Lisa really does want to be a guest on your lives.
She is. She's already scheduled on my show, actually.
Well, all right. I'm watching that.
But she should be on ours too. We'll have both of you.
Right on. Cool.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. Sounds like fun. So Cecilia, then you take these people very, very deep. Are there particular techniques or healing modalities that you use? Is it a mix? What does that look like?
You know what? It's so funny. People ask me this all the time, and it sounds so funny to say this. Like, sure, I could give you a bunch of different techniques. I could say a bunch of different things. Yeah. I feel into their soul. I tune into their energy and their emotions. And I just ask the right questions. I ask the right questions and I let them know that whatever they say, it's going to be okay. And that's really the crux of my coaching. Like look, I've taken 1 million courses. I have certifications. I have all that good stuff. And it's nice and it's wonderful and it's good to have. But at the end of the day, it's one human being talking to another. It's in one human being listening to another. And that's all people need sometimes. It's not complicated. What I do is I am just there for them. I support them fully and freely, and I show them the beauty of their own soul.
Okay. Beautiful.
I was laughing because Tomas is like, he loves asking the question and then he just listens. He just asks that question and you're like, ah! And then you're right. Like the faucet that you just pour out of there. So yeah. I can see that about you, Cecilia. And I love that I love that there's a place to go. So they start here and a lot of stuff comes up and then they're so perfect to now reveal, like it's shining out of them. And then you, Cheryl, can recognize that brand in them. So you had mentioned, so this is all new, like it's new and you just started but it's like you were doing it now. This is the new thing. Will there be a brand created for this partnership?
Soulful Intuitive Branding is the name of our partnership, but it's so funny, Cheryl really sold me on this because I was the biggest skeptic at first. I thought I had to buy ads. I thought I had to get a complicated funnel. I thought I had to do all this crazy stuff. And I laughed today, I'm actually excited to delete all the emails in my inbox from all the free crap that I signed up for because none of it worked. What worked for us is showing up as ourselves, and at the end of the day, I mean, gosh, it's so easy to just be yourself and people feel your heart. They sense your energy. They know you are someone who is sincere and who cares about them. And that's actually all we needed. So we don't even have a website. Don't need one. We don't even have we don't have a fancy email. It's soulfulintuitivebranding@gmail.com. We didn't even have time. We literally just threw together everything. We launched. We haven't even launched. Never mind. I'm lying. Our masterclass is on Tuesday, right? And we're launching then. But just by connecting with people, we sold out over half of our program in a matter of weeks, you know, and that's mind blowing. Like to sit here and say that we closed like over $28,000 worth of sales with nothing more than ourselves is, I don't even know. I don't even have the words.
That's believing in the value of yourselves. And do you think that you could have done this without doing all the work that you had done for each other, with each other prior to this?
Oh no.
I don't think so. We had actually the conversation the other day, yesterday probably, like we're half and half. Like yeah, like there's no way I could have done this without her and vice versa.
Totally.
Which is really funny because like I think like when we had set the intentions for this, like not that we knew that this was going to happen, but like sometimes like when you have a thought of like how you want to create something for somebody, like I always had this thought, for example, that it would be great, like because I was becoming an entrepreneur and I'm like, oh, I'm in affiliate marketing, but sometimes I have a lot to release, and I'm like, it would be great if there was a program that had the ability to, you know, to help you release all this stuff, limiting beliefs and pain and all that stuff. And then like it would take you through the program and you could learn business that way, coming from a place where you actually feel good about yourself and then provide value, right? And so like I think it's just funny how things like turn around, but you know, in a matter of weeks, like providing that value to people and really sharing it. Like it wasn't really like selling it at first. And I think I mentioned it once in like some interview that we did before we actually said that we were going to do this. Actually, this was the turning point, if you really want to know, is that I think I was on an interview with Darcy, our mutual client. She had like a launch, and you know, like I was talking about branding, and I was like, oh, like Cecilia and I, you know, because people actually knew both of us for, you know, the longest time. We've been branding ourselves for like a year and a half already, right? And so people already knew us. And so I mentioned on this live that, you know, perhaps Cecilia and I were actually thinking about putting a program together where it's both of us. And then all of a sudden these people were like, oh my God, I need that. I need that. I need that. I would like, you know what I mean? Like they started reaching out to us, and then we were like, why aren't we doing this? And that's how like quickly things came together, because we were like, we thought about it, and then we're like, okay, this is the sign, you know, like this is how we're going to work together.
Okay. And all of it in the last couple of weeks. So all of these sales, everything that's going on. Yeah. And there hasn't been an official launch yet. So first of all, congratulations. This is absolutely amazing. And what do you think the big difference maker is in this? You know, why is it so different right now?
Because we got out of our own way. We forgot about being scared, and we just went out there and dove in both feet, you know, all 4 feet, right? Because I think, and we always say, you know, if you're afraid, then do it afraid. Whatever it is, you've got to take action. You have to make the motions. You have to believe in yourself. I think that is the one thing that changed everything for us, is we started to realize that, wait a minute, what we have to give is of amazing value. And I think I said this the other day in a post. I was like, I used to be scared to charge money for my coaching. I used to actually discount my offer before the person even said anything. I would be like, okay, well, my normal price is, you know, $100 an hour, but I'll give it to you for 80, because I was already devaluing myself, thinking that who would want to pay for me, right? Who would want to pay for my coaching? But it was the wrong way to go into it. And now we realize that if we come from love and service, and we truly want to help people, everybody can see that and feel that. There's no absence of compassion. There's no absence of connection. So at the end of the day, we don't have to chase. We just have to be, and then our people will come find us.
I'd like to sit on that one. Actually, I love that, because you had mentioned earlier about you've moved and you help people move from selling to being of service. And I love this, because I love that you said you already discounted your service before even putting it out. And then you're almost like you're more trying to sell the idea that they're saving money than that they're being served. And so here you are now selling, I'm going to call it a high ticket price item versus an hourly. There might be a way of saying that. I'll allow you to do that. But what I'm so super, super curious about is a lot of marketing out there really still is originally $12,000, where now it's only $7,000, and even better, you can get it for $3,000. do you think that, because like the big, some gurus out there are doing this, how is your feeling about that? Because people are still buying into those, of course. And do you think that they just kind of feel almost a bad word, really crappy about them, like, and I don't even swear, but are they?
Yes, she does.
I swore today and I had to apologize, but it's like, whatever, we don't care.
Okay to swear. It's okay.
No apologies required on this show.
That's right.
Are they just stuck on that marketing model, or do you think that all of us could just drop that right now and just walk out there? Because here you are, you're maybe struggling with selling $100 an hour, but now you might be asking for, 3,000, 5,000, 2,000, 10,000, and it's different. So can you talk about the difference in those of serving versus selling?
Oh yeah. I think, sorry, Cheryl, I'll say something quick.
Go ahead.
And
you go.
We're the same brain. No, but I was going to say, I think for us, the important thing is this: we know the incredible value we're putting into this program. We know that we are going to flow all of our effort and our energy into helping the people that join us on this path. So in my mind, it's not even a question of money. It's a question of how much are you buying into yourself? How much are you all in on your life, right? Because when you're all in on your life will be all in on you. And so in my mind, it's just, that's why we don't have a crazy funnel. That's why it's not like 10,000 offers and then 6,000 pages and click here and do this. Like, we don't want to do that. We want to see people. We want to talk to them. We want to hear from them. We want to relate to them. We want to give them some free value to show them the worthiness of what we're doing. But at the end of the day, if they resonate with us and our message, we don't have to sell anything. It's not even a question. They just go, how can we work with you? And then that's it.
And I also do believe too that I think it's different now because our purpose is more than just us, it's more than just making money. And I think people feel that too, right? Like all the work that we do, both Cecilia and I know we back our clients 110%. We're always there for them. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the difference. And people have actually said that as we built ourselves up, there are so many ways to do things, all marketing. Yes, have 5 funnels, 10 funnels, email marketing, send 20 million different emails and blah, blah, blah. But I think also during this time, right? This crazy time that we're in, I also feel like there was a lot of opportunity to have an internal look of what's going on for each and every single one of us, right? Because now we're also forced to change all of our habits and change everything that we've been doing. And I think what a lot of people are really craving is that connection, and I think that's part of what it is too. And so just a little story as well, I actually invested in a coach this year, and the teachings that she had was really about really serving and connecting and networking kind of thing, right? Because if you're say for example on our Facebook pages, you only have a certain amount of people on there. How are you going to get more people into your business unless you network, unless you talk to other people? And so the value that you share with them, when they resonate with that message, then you know what I mean? And that's where sort of, if you want to call it a funnel, comes in, but you're really connecting with people in that manner and providing the value. Because the thing about selling, especially in this time, it's not just selling all the time. Here's my offer. Here's how much you're going to pay for it. And here's how to work with me and da, 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 da. People don't really want that. People don't want to be, what's the whole phrase? People don't want to be sold, or people don't want to be sold to. They want to buy, but they want to buy, but they don't want to be sold to. Right? That's what it is. And so when you actually can come from that space and that's what I'm talking about in terms of connection. It's really getting to know that person and what their needs are. Because there's also that other thing where, for example, for affiliate marketing or network marketing, or some coaches actually teach this, to DM 50 people a day, and you have no idea, no relationship with them whatsoever. And then you're feeling kind of icky because you're I don't know you. When somebody receives that, even when I get it now, I'm I don't know you. Why are you messaging me? Versus when you get out there and you share your value, talk about the things that you are willing to do for people, to serve them, to help them in their lives, That's way better. You know what I mean? And then you've developed a relationship with them because they hop on your lives, you connect with them more, you know, like you see what they're up to. And that's what social media is all about. It's about being social. It's not about, right? It's not about just talking at people. Like that's why it's called social media. It's a two-way street, not a one-way.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's about being social and selfless. If you're selfless in the act of wanting to genuinely help other people, they're going to show up for you in spades. Like, I can't believe, like, I have a little group. Okay. I don't have a giant following in my group. I have 160 odd people, but they are amazing people. They're interactive. They're engaging. They care about me. I care about them, you know, and even in our masterclass, we don't have thousands of people in our masterclass, but what do we have? We have people who are activated, who are really invested, who want to have conversations, who are sharing their experiences with us, who are telling us what they need from a soulful business perspective. So really, I think that's different too. I think it's not necessarily a numbers game. I think it is a connection game. It is, you know, what are you doing to relate to other people in a way that is genuine?
Cecilia, that was so funny. I literally, in my head, went numbers game, and you went numbers game. I was like, I had an experience once. I was running, I interview people on the show, and I had to do 3 series all back to back in 1 month. I don't normally do that. So instead of doing 4 shows a month, I was doing a 21, I think, that month. And I remember breaking down crying at near the 3rd week because I couldn't even remember who I had spoken. I couldn't remember the name to the person, the story. And I felt like I'd missed out on the opportunity, which was why I do the show, is to get to know somebody and connect with them and share it. And I felt like I was running that rat race, like a wheel, and it was a numbers game, and it broke my heart. It felt yucky. And I know when I go to my messages, same with Tomas and I call our messenger center or email center the office. And when we go, well, we're going into the office, you know, and when I have to go too far deep or I'm apologizing because I haven't returned somebody's message or got back to them, and I've lost that vibe, and it is heartbreaking to me, because I can see how you lovely ladies and Tomas, we all feel like that connection is priceless. It's so valuable. And that's I love business to be in. I can certainly feel that from you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I love that you put it as a connection game, and an authentic connection, not just a numbers.
Right.
Okay, well, I've only contacted 6 people today. I've got to hit my quota, my word quota of 20 or 30 or whatever it is. So, Lisa, you had a question that you were dying to ask, and I don't know if you've already asked that or not.
It was about the serving and selling, but my question was about the word serving. I remember for myself and some others, because I coach people, and they had a negative connotation with the word serving because, and I'm going to answer it myself, so I won't. I want to ask you ladies, when you are working with somebody, if they feel like, oh, but I'm serving others, I shouldn't get paid for it because I'm serving, or I'm giving up of myself and I'll run out if I continually serve. So how can you guys talk about the reciprocity in serving and in the business building of serving, where there's a financial gain? Because we are talking business, right?
Do you want to go first, Cheryl? I don't know.
Can you just repeat that last part? I totally, it kind of.
Oh, okay.
Garbled.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Sorry. How could you guys, or how would you help people who maybe feel that to serve is either they're going to run out, like they'll be empty, their cup will be empty, that they'll just continually serve and not receive financial exchange or value. So can we relate? Can we make serving a really fun, happy, comfy feeling?
It's the B word, Cheryl. You know the B word you're going to say?
The B word?
Boundaries.
Yes.
We were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, that's so funny how you mentioned that, because you know, like when we talk about serving, it's also about serving ourselves first and foremost, because this is exactly why Cecilia and I were talking about boundaries, is because we used to be givers of serving people a lot because we came from a place of self-lack. We thought we had to be liked. We thought we had to, you know what I mean? And so when we came from that place, it was therefore it was so energetically draining that way. But because now we are learning our boundaries, we actually set them in place now. A timeline is a timeline is a timeline for us. We have rest to serve us as well, first and foremost, because if we don't serve ourselves in that manner, where we make time for play, where we make time for our families, where we make time for our loved ones first, then the serving doesn't become fun, because you're just going to be like really serving from an empty cup. Versus if you know, like if you do serve yourself and then you go out and then you come from that like playful place, if you like, of fun, you know, like of serving people where, you know, like it feels good. I think the other thing that I really wanted to bring up to you, Lisa, is that it has to feel good to you, the serving of what you're doing, because if it doesn't, it won't be aligned. Like aligned meaning that it doesn't give you joy, you know, like it doesn't really get you up in the morning or get you motivated kind of thing, right? Like it has to feel good. Like it has to come from a place where you're like, this is what I really want to do, you know? And then that's where the serving really helps, because in all actuality, the value that you provide is the value that you're going to receive. So value is also money.
I like that.
Yeah.
The value you're going to provide is the value you're going to receive. I am quoting that.
True. It's true.
Yeah.
It's so
'Cause
true.
The other thing too is like people perceive money as like something, okay. People perceive money as like something that is unattainable, or, you know, well, where money is just value.
Right.
It's just value, and that's energy. And so if you put the energetics of like serving people in the way that makes you feel good, more abundance is going to come to you in money, in wealth, in happiness, in joy. Like, because sometimes like when people say abundance, you're like abundance in money. But no, it's not. It's more than money. Right. And that's why serving from here first will be helpful and fun in all ways after you come to yourself first.
Yeah, so true. And honestly, we always talk about this. The more you chase something, the further it goes away from you. So when you chase abundance, you can't find it. When you chase customers, you can't find them. When you own the fact that you are the abundance, the customers come and find you because you realize you're deserving. So part of serving is knowing that you deserve it, knowing that it's okay to accept. Money is just energy, right? So it's okay to accept that. Like now we get that. Now we're like, hello, we can be of service and people can reward us for the service that we're giving. And when you have more skin in the game, you're going to take it more seriously. You're going to dedicate yourself more fully. The transformation will probably be quicker because you're not going in like, you know, I could coach you for $80 an hour, but is it necessarily going to deliver you the same set of results as if you pay us a few $1,000s for us to go all in with you and you go all in with yourself? Are you going to get better, more maximized results? Are you going to feel more confident, more incredible, more amazing when you get there? Absolutely. Yeah. So if you serve genuinely, you don't have to deplete. Service doesn't mean depletion. Service means love yourself first, best, and most.
Mm-hmm.
When you serve genuinely, you don't have to deplete. I love that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really don't. And you know, Cecilia, I love what you just said here. I have a friend from down here in Arizona who says those who pay attention. So it's what you just said. If you have some skin in the game, you're likely to get a quicker result.
Absolutely.
Much quicker.
I'm
much quicker.
I'm going to take advantage of my time with you guys and ask this question for myself.
Yes.
So I love how I serve. I love how I show up. I have so much fun with it that I did this the other day. I actually had such a great call. At the end, I actually forgot to sell. Like I didn't even, and the poor woman, she's like, well, how can I get more of you? Where can I watch you? See you get to, aren't you going to try to sell me anything? And I was like, crap, I forgot. I don't know. I don't have anything. I just had so much fun. And I just left it at that because there's always a time, lady, you don't have to do it then. But is there a time when you just love, like Tomas and I do that all the time. I think we just have so much fun. Then we go, oh, right. This is actually our business. We got to do something here. So, yeah, can you, what advice would you give on that one? How would you guide us there?
Right.
So I'll chime in on this, and then I know Cece will chime in too. But definitely sometimes when that happens, if you know that you're a hell yes for someone to work with, like, and this because everybody has that their intuitive sense. Usually, even if there is a lot of fun after it, I will message them after and I would say, listen, we had an amazing call together. I really want to work with you. Again, that whole honesty and truthfulness, right? Taking off that mask and saying, you know what, this is it. Because like, again, it's really just being that, that true honesty with it. And then afterwards, like if they're also hell yes, amazing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the best story. And this was our, I want to say this was our second or third client that we signed into the high ticket program that we're doing. So this guy called me to sell me something. Okay. And so, I was told that it was not going to be a sales call, but I know I'm smart. I figured it out. Right. Anyway, so, we had a beautiful call. He had amazing energy and I just loved everything about him. And of course, naturally by the end, he's trying to sell me a program. And I said, well, that's interesting because, it was stated to me that there would be no sales in this call. And he's like, you're right. And I said, well, then that's a lie. And he said, you're right. Now he was a salesperson. He didn't start this program, right? But anyway, and so we just started talking and I said, doesn't that feel kind of out of alignment for you? You know what I mean? And we just started opening up and he started talking and he's just like, honestly, he's like, I don't care about anything. I don't care about whatever. I just want to talk to you. I just want to get to know you because I love everything about you. So we just started chit-chatting and, by the end of the call, he literally was like, I have to work with you. I just have to. And he bought into our program.
Okay.
So this is what it is. You don't even know what you know until it happens. If you are just yourself, right? So that's the joke. And maybe this is going to be something that I'm going to put in a post one day with his kind permission, right? But the fact is
Yeah.
that, that's how powerful it is when you can just be yourself, be kind. And, he resonated with me immediately. He's like, this woman is a good person, right? And he felt that, he saw it, I energized it. And then at the end of the day, he could not walk away from that interaction without being in my orbit because he could tell that I gave a crap about him. Yeah. And at the end of the day, he's so enthusiastic that he literally was like, because we're starting in January and he messaged me after he bought it and he's like, I don't know if I can wait that long. And I'm like, it's okay. Relax for December. We're going to get started. I promise you. Right. But that to me is like the best story because like, who goes into a sales call and walks away with a sale as opposed to shelling out their own money?
That is the best story. Thank you for sharing that. That really means a lot on both of it. So one of them being, just to recap that, the advice, my own little question there for life. Yes. You know what? I love that you said that. You don't have to do it right then. There's life, a sale is do it then, but a connection and serving is do it when it feels right. And boom, over here, be in alignment, share your own, be your own internal brand everywhere you go and see what shows up. Tomas, this is so cool.
It is. It's very cool. And we very much appreciate your time, Cecilia and Cheryl, and thank you for sharing all of the insights and stories. And it's exciting because it's going on right now. So for the benefit of those that are out there listening who'd want to hear more about what you're doing, what are you doing? What are you launching? And when's that coming up? How can people reach you?
Cheryl, you want to go for it?
So we are launching a masterclass on Tuesday about this. And the masterclass, I know it'll be long gone after this, but the program is going to be called Soulfully Branded and Brilliant with Cheryl and Cecilia. And what that really entails is that you get both of us, two coaches, heart-based coaches that are really all about helping you heal, brand, and market all in one. And that's really with the first 2 months are really going to be with Cecilia. And what she provides is really the transformation of like helping you release limiting beliefs, get into your healing, transform your story, get into your new story so that you feel completely aligned, heart, mind, body, and soul. And then we go into the branding. We do foundational branding. Both her and I do foundational branding, but just because we both embodied this while we were doing our businesses. So foundational branding is really building a strong brand, a foundation of who you are, what you do, who you serve, how people are going to walk with you, and what results people are going to get.
Okay.
And then from there, then we do graphics, logos, and all of that. So as that part of the brand. And then we also go into organic marketing, feeling good like first, and then marketing from soul, so that whatever value you provide, then, like it's really about just sharing who you are and what you do and all of that. And then having people magnetized by that to you without having any of that stuff that you need to quote unquote pay for, because you would be the value that you realize at the end of this program, so that you are the value and then you receive the value in returon.
Yeah, love it. And you can find us, like we're just on Facebook under our names. Like we said, we do not have a website for this business. We have a Facebook group, and so you can find us under Cheryl Geonanga or Cecilia Tement. We both have websites, CherylGeonanga.com, CeciliaTement.com, but we're out there. So if you want to find us, you will find us. And if it's meant to be in aligned, it'll work out.
And do you have a specific date and time for your Facebook Lives?
We do go live every Thursday at 11:11 Eastern Standard Time for our Soul Find broadcast, but we're live all the time, all over the place. We have tons of different broadcasts and things, so just you'll find us. I believe that.
Super cool on the 11:11. I love that you picked not an exact time. Well, it is an exact time. I love that you didn't pick it again on the hour off the. I love that. That just exactly totally represents right now just who you guys are right there. And I love that there's 11:11 and 2, and there are 2 doorways, and there are 2 of you, and it's like walk through this doorway, and boom, here we go.
Love it. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love that. Yeah.
I like that.
This is beautiful. Yes. Wonderful. Well, and then so this is launching right now. As we speak, you all are launching a brand new venture with massive momentum. So Cheryl and Cecilia, this has been a pleasure. And Lisa and I got one of our questions answered also. Lisa, I didn't know you were going to ask that, but I'm glad you did.
Thank you guys for having us. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
And it was a lot of fun. So thank you.
Yay, success and fun.
Yes, this is great. So Cecilia and Cheryl, then anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners here before we wrap up today?
I want people to understand that business is not just about business. It's about your heart. And if you can put your heart in everything you do and live from a place of love for yourself and a love for others, you will always find the abundance and success and everything that you need and want and desire. It's all in you.
All right.
I ditto that as well. Exactly what Cecilia said. I mean, like, I think through the journey of finding yourself and through entrepreneurship and the like, it isn't just business at all. Like, you have to run the business. You are the person that runs the business. So therefore, getting into alignment of yourself is so important. It doesn't mean you have to do it beforehand, but it most certainly helps you in terms of realizing who you truly are, and really taking the judgments off yourself, but learning to love yourself more, and then going out there, because the more that you emanate, the whole idea of self-love for yourself, and then going out, everything starts from within first and then manifests out. So if you are completely aligned everywhere, mind, body, and soul, then everything will come out as the abundance that we all deserve, for sure.
Yeah, I love that. All right. Well, I've certainly learned a lot. Lisa, I know you've learned a lot as well. And this is so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Decide to Transform. This has been Cecilia Tement and Cheryl Geonanga, business partners and great friends. Thank you all for joining us here today. And thank you all for listening.